Derivative works. The Lord of the Rings trilogy is the film version of the book series of the same name, written by a British author named John Ronald Reuel Tolkien. The series was a sequel to the book, The Hobbit, that he wrote in 1937 for kids at the request of a publishing company. Over 100 million copies of the Lord of the Rings book series were sold and translated into various languages around the world. It is regarded as one of the 3 greatest fantasy novels of all time, along with The Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis and the Earthsea series by Ursula K. Le Guin. The Lord of the Rings series was not only made into movies, but also into other various forms of entertainment, such as a radio show, TV drama, musical, animation, and play. It successfully attracted the notice of the general public by realistically bringing the fantasy elements of the work to life. Translations, adaptations into films or dramatized, rearranged versions of the original work are called derivative works. Derivative works are also protected under copyright law. To be acknowledged as a derivative work, it must contain elements of creativity. President Obama is the first African American president in the U.S. This poster that became his trademark during the 2008 presidential election was created by a famous street artist named Shepard Fairey. However, the fact that this poster was based on a photo shot by Manny Garcia was revealed by the Associated Press in 2009. It led to a lawsuit, and the Associated Press settled with Fairey for half of the profit he gained from the poster. The creator of a derivative work must not infringe on the original creator's right to prepare derivative work based upon the copyrighted work. Therefore, authorization from the original creator to use the material beforehand is necessary. This photo, published in National Geographic in May 1996, is a photograph of a sculpture similar to the actual dinosaur embryo fossil. Brian Cooley, the sculptor, and Luis Hoyos, the photographer, participated in this project. Brian created the dinosaur egg sculpture, and Luis took the photograph of Brian's work. When Luis regained the copyright according to the contract, he allowed the use of his photograph by a third party for a fee. He also used this photograph in his book and sold the digital version of the photo. When Brian found out about this later, he claimed Luis infringed on his copyright and filed a lawsuit. In July 2014, the New York Southern District Court ruled that Luis's photograph was a derivative work of Brian's sculpture and that Luis infringed on Brian's copyright. Even if the creativity involved was recognized and his copyright to the derivative work was acknowledged, he cannot create a derivative work without the original creator's approval on the use of the original work. What if the original work is a fair use or public domain work that anyone can use? A parody, representative of a derivative work, is an example of fair use, so it does not require an approval from the original creator. Chopin composed this beautiful piano sonata. Chopin's works have become public domain because the duration of his copyright terminated 70 years after his death, and now musicians can freely arrange Chopin's music without his approval. However, newly arranged music by a musician is regarded as a derivative work that includes creative characteristics of the musician, so the musician holds the copyright on that derivative work. As the cultural base expands and the types of medium becomes diversified, the economic value of derivative works increases. However, a cautious attitude toward the usage of copyrights is needed since derivative works are based on the originals.